Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Otis. Good to be here on your platform. I celebrate you for the incredible work that you're doing. And thank you for creating a platform where we can continue to transform Africa and build a better continent for ourselves and why not for the future generation. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Good to see you. Good to be part of this platform today. If you can hear me loud and clear, can you just type billionaire in the chat box? If you can hear me loud and clear, type the word billionaire in the chat box. If you believe you're a billionaire, type the word billionaire in the chat box. Africa needs more billionaires. More billionaires means more jobs, more companies, more transformation. Only rich people can change Africa. All right. Good to see everybody. And I'm sure that majority of the people here are from Liberia. I have been to Liberia just once, 2018. I was invited to come speak in an education conference in 2018 in Liberia. And I had a great time touring Liberia, Monrovia, and all of that. Beautiful city. And I'm looking forward to coming back to Liberia. Now that I have more friends, here from Liberia. All right, so I'm leading the session on business development and management, and it's one of my favorite things to talk about. I am a full-time business trainer and consultant for 10 years plus, and I have traveled 20 countries, 4 continents, providing training and consulting to business leaders on how to build thriving businesses and just share perspective on what they can do to continue to build incredible companies for the good of humanity. And in the next couple of minutes, I will be sharing with you some deep insights that I feel are very critical for any entrepreneur to know when it comes to building and managing a business. And I strongly believe that what I will share, if you take and practice, it is going to help you. Now, let me do a quick census and know who I'm talking to. So it will help me to know how to address or put my words in a way that it will create that transformation and the words will be relevant. If you run a business right now, type the word business. If you are still to start, type the word start. If you already have a business right now that you run, type the word business. If you are still to start, type the word start. Let's go. Okay. All right. I'm seeing a lot of start. Okay. So a lot of startups people here forced you to start. All right, then. Good. So it's going to help me a lot to know how to structure the session in a way that it is going to bring that transformation in the lives of the people. Okay, so, all right, a few people have businesses already. Otis, can you be able to spotlight my video? Is it possible? All right. So I decided to break down this session into what I call business success engineering. Many times I look at business as an engineering process, a process where you need to intentionally create, because I believe that you do not build a great business from the place of guesswork. Nobody can guesswork and build a business. No, you cannot assume and build a business. You need to be intentional when it comes to building a business. Personally, apart from being a business consultant and a business speaker here and there, I also run my own businesses. I have started altogether 7 businesses. 3 have failed, 4 are still standing. So I know what it means to start and run a business. I am not speaking from a place of theory or reading books. And I've studied business to the highest level that you can think of. I have a doctorate degree in entrepreneurship and investment. I did an MBA and all of that. So, but one thing I can say as far as business is concerned is that You need to be intentional about it. Without intentionality, it is difficult to build a business. And that's why I like to talk about engineering, because anything that concerns engineering, you see a lot of dedication, a lot of consistency from the path of the entrepreneur, right? Or the engineer that is building that particular product. If you've ever seen a software engineer or a building engineer working on something, the process, the dedication, the diligence, the hard work that they put into that stuff to make it work is so mind-blowing. And it is the same thing with building a business. You need to engineer and you need to focus on it. So let's proceed and make this work. I always like to say that every committed business person will always worry about business growth and success. Whether you're thinking of starting, whether you've started, one of the major worries of any business person is growth, success. Will I succeed? Like many of you here, you are still thinking of starting. One of the major fears that you have is, will it work? Will people buy my product? Will I get all the attention that I need? Will my products be relevant in the marketplace? Right? And that is, it's not wrong for you to be thinking like that. It's totally fine, because it is from that place of questioning that you begin to seek the right knowledge and strategies and tools that you can use to build that business and make it work. So many businesses on the precipice of growth, or those preparing to enter a new chapter, are always searching for ways that they can drive business growth, but can often find themselves struggling to move into that next phase. Like many of you here are thinking of starting a business, and many times you can stay stuck in the brainstorming session of that starting, that you never actually start. You are struggling to move from that stage where you can take the idea from your mind on paper and execute in the marketplace. And there are some people that they have actually started, but they have remained small for so long. They were small business or startups. Somebody can be a startup for 5 years or 10 years, they're still small. You see, because the challenge is, how do they move to the next level? And if you are growth oriented, you need to think of the next level. You need to always think of the next big phase. And one of the most important things I encourage any business person to do is to ask questions. When you begin to ask the right business questions, you will get the right answers. Show me any successful business person, I will show you somebody who is good at asking questions. Who is good at asking questions. You see, so I want us to go through this process where we're going to ask a couple of questions. And as I begin to ask these questions and give you responses or what to do with these questions, I want you to start thinking, based on where I am right now, based on this stage that I am right now, what do I need to do to move to the next level? What answers do I need to get from my community, from my town, from my city, so I can move to the next level? So when you do that, you can be able to produce and build a business that will be successful. Because the outcome of business development, the outcome of business management is, how do I build a sustainable, growing business? That is it. That is the outcome of it all. So what are these questions that every business person here, every entrepreneur here must get the answers in order to build a good business? Number one, what are you selling and why are you selling it? This is one of the most important questions to answer when you're thinking of starting or building a business. What do you want to sell and why are you selling it? What do you want to sell and why are you selling it? Many of you here said that you are thinking of starting. Okay, that's good. But what really in detail do you want to sell? And why are you selling it? Because in the marketplace, if you don't have value to give somebody, they will not give you money. And the what here is, what is the value? What is that thing that is so valuable that you want to exchange for somebody's money? And why are you selling it? Are you selling it because you feel that the market needs it? Or are you selling it because you want to solve a problem that actually exists? You get that? The why is very important. Many people launch businesses and they don't sell because their why is not right. And the major why that you need to make sure you get right is make sure that the what that you are selling is actually solving a problem, the pain point. What is the pain? What are the troubles? What are the challenges that people are going through that your what can actually solve? So those of you thinking of starting a business, if I ask you now to get a pen and a paper, describe in 2 statements what you are planning to sell. Can you do that in a way that everybody can read and see value? In another 2 statements, can you describe why you are selling it? When you get this wrong, it's going to negatively affect the way you are building a business. If you see anybody, great people, if you're somebody who I love to read the stories of billionaires, how they started. 2 years ago, I spent time reading the 200 top billionaires in the world, reading how they started their businesses and all of that, just to understand. You will see one thing is constant. They have what they are selling, and there is a strong why that they are selling it. So you need to get this right if you're going to build a business that will go places as an entrepreneur. Number 2, what is the size of your market? Understanding the size of your market is very important. Because, as I always fondly say, the size of your market will determine whether you be a billionaire or not, right? Because you can be selling the what to a very small market. And when you launch the product, in less than no time, the market is full. You have saturated the market. So it is important that if you're thinking of starting a business or you have started a business, identify the size of your target market. For example, let us say Otis, who is running this business school, is targeting young people in Liberia. So what is the size of that market? What is the size of the young people that he's targeting? And you need to niche your market. I am targeting young people between the ages of 35 and 20 who are thinking of building great businesses in the next 30 years. What is the size of that market? He will now need to carry out research to understand the size. Oh, presently, the class of young people I'm targeting in Liberia, there are 1 million young people. The size of your market can give you a sense of how long and how much you can make and where they are located. If you're starting a business and you're targeting pregnant women, you need to look for the research that explains how many pregnant women are in Liberia every year. The size of that market is important. There's no business to manage, there's no business to develop if you don't understand who you're targeting and the size of the people that you're targeting. So for those of you thinking of starting a business, go and do research, go online, go to offices so you can ask questions. Do your own research if you can, primary research if you can, but make sure you have a sense, an average size of the market that you're targeting. It's going to help you know whether this market has a future or not. There are people launching ideas into a market that the market will disappear in the next 2 years, in the next 5 years. And when there is no market, there is no business. And this takes you now to the next question, which is, do you understand who you're selling to? Do you understand who you are selling to? Now, why is it important to understand who you're selling to? Because when you understand who you're selling to, it makes it easier for you to design the products that will solve their problem. It makes it easier for you to design the marketing message that will solve their problem. Those of you thinking of starting, who are you selling to? Who is the perfect user of that product, of that service? Do they even need it? Do they even exist? Will they buy? Do they have the monthly income or the yearly income to afford what you're selling? You need to understand who you're selling to. Where do they live? Where do they go? What do they like? What is their average monthly or yearly income? Where do they hang out? All of these things, all of these dynamics are important for the operations of your business. This is the core of business management. When you understand who you're selling to, every other thing that you will do will revolve around the response to this question. Understand who you're selling to, and your business will go places. Now, what is your value chain? What is value chain? The various phases of things that you go through for you to create value. For example, we are here doing this program with the amazing Javnyuy School of Leadership and Development, right? Now, there's a value chain. Before we are here, there's a value chain to go through before, you are able to get the teaching I'm giving you. And there are different logistics. Getting the internet is part of the value chain. Getting the Zoom is part of the value chain. Getting the promotional platforms to market the program so you see is part of the value chain. Going to radio stations or whatever that they use to get your attention is part of the value chain. If you are going to succeed in business and manage a business, you need to understand the value chain that your process goes through before the final consumer gets what you're producing. What is the value chain? Those of you thinking of starting, I don't know, you want to start with poultry, you want to start whatever, restaurant, fashion, business, whatever. You need to understand what is the value chain that my business needs to go through before the customer gets the final value. And the beauty of the value chain is that you can now buy some value chain if you want, because there's some value chain that will consume, your money a lot. So you need to make sure that you understand the value chain, and if there's a value chain that you can buy in the long run and make it yours, you can do it. So you can keep more money for yourself, and you can even resell that service. For example, let us say that you run a school, and when starting school, you are renting the building. That building is another value chain, but you're paying rent to the landlord. But the smart business person will have the plan to own the value chain, that particular value chain in the long run. Maybe you can buy the house from the landlord, or you can build your own house. Smart business people find ways to own the value chain that is taking money out of their pocket. So they keep the money for themselves, and they can even sell the value to other people. You see? So you need to understand your value chain and start the process. Let me give another example. The Zoom that we're using right now is somebody else's company, but your business school is paying a yearly license fee to use the Zoom platform for this teaching to happen. Maybe in the long run, the school can decide and build their own platform where they will be having live sessions with their students and stop paying money to Zoom. And maybe now they can start renting their own platform to other schools to use and teach their students online. You see that? So that is the power of understanding your value chain and making good use of it. So whatever business you're starting, whatever business you're running, pay attention to your value chain. Know how to manage it and know how to own it. It's going to help you. Next, what is the most important skill you and your team need? What is the most important skill you and or your team need? Let me start from you, the founder. Founders need to acquire the right skills. Let me tell you something. Business rise and fall on skills. If you're a founder, you lack the right business skills, your team lacks the right business skills, that business will not go places. If you see a business struggling with marketing and sales or not making profit, they don't know how to do marketing and sales. So if you are going to build a thriving business, you need to identify the most important skills that you must be good at and make sure you are good at those skills. Or you identify the most important skills that you need to make your business work and hire people that are good with those skills and let them use those skills to advance your business. If show me a business with skillful people, I will show you a business that will go places. And in business, talking about important skills, you need to make sure you're good at marketing and sales. You're good at financial management. You're good at customer acquisition. You are good at lead generation. You are good at raising capital if you need external capital. You are good at people management because you need to manage your team. You are good at resource management and allocation. All of these things are important skills. But depending on what we studied in school, depending on our experiences, and depending on access, we will need different set of skills. The skills I need now are not the same skills some of you need. But the point is, at every stage of your business, there are important skills that you need to possess and be good at them. Either you possess the skills or you go and hire somebody who has those skills. But you need to identify the skills that your business needs to succeed. There are many businesses struggling because the people managing those businesses and the people working in those businesses don't have the right skills. So you need to make sure that you develop the right skills set for that business. Take short courses, take programs. That's why this program is going to transform many of your businesses because you're acquiring knowledge and skills that will transform your business. Can I do better than anyone? That's the next question to ask yourself in business. Can I do better than anyone? And the answer here should be yes. If your answer is no, you need to be careful. It's very important to have the right level of confidence when it comes to building a business. And you need to believe and have the conviction that you and your business can be better than anybody in the industry. You need to have that conviction, that aspiration, that ambition that you can be better than the players in the same industry. You can be better than the competition. You need to do what is required to be better. You need to acquire the right skills to be better. By all means, one of your major goals is to be the best in your industry. One of your major goals is to be unique in your industry. One of your major goals is to create the best value that you can create for your customers. That is your responsibility. So yes, you can do better than anyone. And that is your responsibility as an entrepreneur. Don't be in business and you are existing. Don't be in business and you're just there. You're just average. You are just managing. No. You need to outgrow the management stage. You need to outgrow the average lifestyle. You need to operate from the level of excellence and diligence and creativity and aspiration that you want to become an industry captain in that industry where you operate. You want to become a powerful institution in the country where you operate. So yes, you can do better, and you need to be dedicated to doing better. So I have a question for you, and I want to see answers in the chat box. Do you believe you can do better? If yes, type a big yes. Type a long yes. Do you believe you can do better? Type a long yes. Good. I see Emmanuel typing yes. Elijah, Abraham, Emmanuel again. So many Emmanuels here. I see Alice. Oh, my mom's name is Alice. All right. I see Moses. I see so good, good, good. You see, that is it. You need to have that conviction no matter where you are, no matter what you do. You need to have that conviction as a person. The next question when it comes to business management and development you need to ask yourself is, do you have systems in place? Do you have systems in place? Let me tell you something. One of the best things that can happen to an institution is system development. What is system development? System development can be as simple as, for example, let me use the example of Otis trying to contact me to be a speaker and a trainer for this session, right? And Otis can have a system named Trainer Communication System. Trainer Communication System. Now, and what does the system entail? The system can mean that they are going to have a communication system that they are going to reach out to the trainers as far as the program is concerned. And the system can entail that 1 month to the training time, they will send an email with the timetable. 3 weeks to the training period, they will remind the trainer of their training time. 2 weeks, they do that. 2 days, they do that. And 1 day, they do that. And 2 hours to the training time, they remind the trainer. You see, it's just a documented process of how you get things done. A business without systems has poor management. A business where you do things only from your head, is not documented anywhere. That's poor management, and that's poor sustainability. Why? Because if you are not there, nobody can do it because everything is in your head. But a system, a business where you document systems and you create systems helps you a lot to manage easily and delegate various elements for other people to manage because you have documented it. So here's my encouragement for you. Whether you're starting or you have been in business, make sure you have systems in place. And when you already have a team, systems are very important when you have a team. Without systems, you will have a lot of headaches managing your team members. Because with systems, team members automatically know what to do even in your absence. They automatically know what to do even in your absence. Because there is a protocol to follow. There is a system to follow. And the system must not be static. You need to upgrade the system. Let the system be agile. Let the system be innovative. Do you have systems in place? You need to do that. Who is the best in your sector and what are they doing that you admire? You know, many times people hate competition. For me, I learn from my competition. Anybody who's doing better than me in my sector, I will follow them on social media. I will follow their websites. I will do everything to be on their game so that I can learn, not to be jealous. It's to learn. Somebody will always know more than you. That's a fact. Somebody will always be better than you. So instead of being jealous, learn. What are they doing that you admire? Learn from them. Ask questions if you can. Do research about their processes if you can. Learn and make good use. Learn, come and improve and add into your own business. Apple learns from Microsoft. Microsoft learns from Apple. Samsung and Apple are always, these guys are always battling each other, learning and copying and innovating, right? That is it. It's business. But you need to learn with innovation, learn with improvement. I always encourage young business people, make sure you follow the best in your industry. Stop comparing yourself with people in the same level. That's mediocrity. Learn, aspire to learn and follow those who have gone ahead of you and doing better than you. They will challenge you to be better. They will stretch you. One of the best ways to move from mediocrity to excellence and greatness is to make sure that you follow, admire, and learn from people who have gone years ahead of you. You are not competing, you are not trying to compare with them. No. You have acknowledged that, yes, this guy is good. This company is good. But what are they doing that I can learn and implement at my level and keep growing to their level? Because you cannot be starting a business as today, you are just a few months old and you want to compare with a company that's been there for 30 years. That's stupidity. Don't compare with them. That's suicide. That's not comparison. That's suicide. Learn from them. Oh, if they have been in business for 30 years, what are they doing that I can do to also be in business for 30 years? That's the mindset. Don't ignore the best in your industry. Next question. Are you creating solutions to today's problems? What about next week, next year's, or the problems of several years to come from now? Now, the purpose of this question when it comes to business management is to teach you to have a futuristic mindset. Don't only focus on today. There are many business people that they don't think about next year. They have no plan for their business for the next 5 years and next 10 years. They're just existing. They're just merely surviving. No. If you're going to manage a business and develop a business that will stand the test of time, you need to always ask this question. Am I creating? Am I creating? Am I creating solutions to today's problem? Why is this important also? Because you can create outdated solutions. You can create outdated solutions that are no longer needed in the marketplace and nobody's going to buy. So you need to always make sure that whatever you're designing and building, make sure it is relevant for today, for today's problems. And while you're doing that, think of tomorrow. How will the market dynamics change? What if consumer buying behavior change? What are the various dynamics right now happening in the industry that can change the industry 10 years from now? You need to be that futuristic. You need to be that futuristic. The problems they're solving right now, you can start asking yourself, how will this problem evolve in the next 2 years? How will these problems evolve in the next 5 years? And you can start thinking of how to design relevant solutions that can solve that problem in the next 5 years. It's very important. Are you learning something? Are you being challenged? Let me know in the chat box. Are you learning something? Do you feel that you'll become a better business person after this session? Do you feel that? Are you learning? Let's go, let's go. Give me some feedback, people. Good, good. Thank you, Leader Abraham. Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you, Miriam. Thank you, Edwin. Thank you, Aisha. Thank you, thank you. Good, thank you, Luis. Awesome. Thank you, Johnson. Good. Happy to hear that. Happy to hear that. I'm seeing all the comments. All right, let's proceed. What do you believe about the business you are in? Now, I've told you guys, especially within Africa, I have been to 13 African countries, working mostly with young people, consulting and training and all of that. I am a yearly entrepreneurship trainer. For those who know yearly, yes, Liberians come to Accra, Ghana for the yearly program, right? Is there anybody here in the yearly person? Anybody here? Are you a yearly person? But I started training them last year, so yes. Good. So I have experience training African young entrepreneurs across 13 African countries. So I know what I'm talking about. One of the major things I have seen with the young people is that they don't believe in their businesses. There's no way you can be creative and diligent in a path you don't believe in. Let me tell you something. That's a fact about life. There is no way you can be exceptionally creative and diligent in a business you don't believe in that can work. There are many people operating a business that they are doubting. Will it work? It will not work. Will it work? It will not work. Will it work? It will not work. Like I always say, there are entrepreneurs that they're running a business and they're looking for a job at the same time. I always say they are confusing God. Yeah, God doesn't know whether God should bless you with a job or bless your business. So which one do you want? You say you're an entrepreneur, but you're looking for a job at the same time. So if you were God now, what will you do? Don't you think people like that confuse God? Don't you think so? Right? So when you begin to confuse God, go like, look at this one. Should I give this one a job now, or should I give this one, or should I bless the business? Just confusing God unnecessarily. Meanwhile, God has more important problems to solve, right? Like giving him billions. So stop confusing God. Either you are building your business or you want to be a corporate professional. But you can be a corporate professional and run your passive income business. Let us know that you're just a passive entrepreneur. You see? But what am I trying to say here? Please, if you are an entrepreneur, believe in your business. It is not a good attitude. And let me say this, spiritually and mentally, it's not a good attitude to doubt yourself and to doubt your business. It is very important to have absolute belief in the business you are building. Believe that that business can grow and make billions of Liberian dollars. Believe that that business can grow and employ 10,000 Liberians and employ Sierra Leoneans and Ghanaians and whoever. Believe that that business can go places. Believe that that business, you can open branches in Nigeria, in Dubai. Believe it. Whether it will take you 40 years or 50 years, believe it. That is your job. The most successful entrepreneurs are dangerous believers in what they are building. Everybody else can doubt them, but they will never doubt their own self. Everybody can doubt their business, but they will never doubt their own business. Do you believe in your business? Do you believe in your business? Do you have absolute conviction in the path that you've taken? And let me tell you, one sign that an entrepreneur is a believer in the business is that they don't give up. Anything can happen to them in that business, but they will never give up on that business. They will fail, they will cry, they will lose money, they'll be betrayed, they'll be backstabbed, taxation will come, things will happen up and down, but they will make that, they have resolved that they will make that business to work. Those are the people that end up succeeding. People who give up never succeed. But if you keep on going and keep on improving and keep on learning, I'm using the word improving intentionally because you can be consistent in the wrong direction. You can be believing in the wrong direction. Believing doesn't mean that you don't improve. No, improve, reset, iterate, better the product, create new strategies, do things. The goal can remain the same, but the strategy can improve. That's how you build a business. Next, what are the obstacles proceeding along your current path? It's very good to identify the obstacles that will rise in your path. For many people in Africa, obstacles like poor capital or limited access to capital, obstacles like high taxes, obstacles like poor governance and bribery and corruption, all these obstacles, poor electricity supply, all these obstacles here and there, we face them in Africa. But complaining about them would not solve anything. Your job is to anticipate the obstacles along your path and have plan Bs for those obstacles. If you're in an area where there's always low power supply, start saving to have a generator if you can. You see? So what are the obstacles that you will find along your path? Anticipate them. Prepare yourself mentally and start laying down plans on how to overcome those obstacles. Because obstacles will not disappear because you started the business. No, they will not disappear. Obstacles will not respect you because you're a young person. No, they will hit you as a businessman. But the smartest business people anticipate obstacles and start laying down plans to overcome the obstacles. What are you sacrificing to accomplish your current objectives? What are you sacrificing to accomplish your current objective? What does this mean? Because sometimes in business, you need to sacrifice another thing to achieve another thing. You see? So you need to make sure that you understand, especially for startups and small business owners. When you have limited capital, limited resources, limited employee, you may need to sacrifice. For example, you can decide and say, oh, you know what? I will not have an accountant now and focus on recruiting 2 marketing managers. I prefer to have more sales and try to do the accounting myself than to use the limited money I have to recruit 1 accountant and 1 marketer. You see, because you're trying to sacrifice, because you are not yet where you can have everything that you want. Even large companies like Amazon and Apple, at some point, it's not that they're unsacrificed at a whole different level. But sometimes, many times in business, you will need to sacrifice. Some people, you may need to sacrifice living, stop renting your own house, and you go live with your family or with your friends so you can rent a building for your office and try to build your business. I have done that before. I stopped renting my own house, go live with a friend, and I was trying to build my business. Right? That's sacrifice. That's sacrifice. But you need to identify that sacrifice and be willing to take that step, but that step must have a direct impact on your business objective. Don't sacrifice blindly. Make sure you are certain that, hey, this particular sacrifice and step I am taking, it will directly affect my business and push my business forward. Next, how can we add more value? This is very important. If you want to remain relevant in business, keep on adding more value. You want your business to remain relevant, keep on creating more value for your customers. You want to have new customers, keep on adding more value. Is there anything my team can do to increase the value we bring to our customers? This is a question that must be constant. I always ask some of my clients that every year I challenge them. Every January, make sure you add something new to your existing products. Add a new service, but just make sure that every January you add more value. It's a tradition. Even in my own business, every January I always add something new in the business, something valuable. This is the foundation of business development. You cannot create the same value 5 years ago, and you're trying to maintain the same value today, and it's there. That is why most of you, all of us, have iPhones, smartphones, right? How many apps do you keep on updating every month? What do you think they're doing? They're adding more value to you. There are some apps that basically every month you need to update them to get more value. Even your operating systems in your phone and your laptop, you need to keep on updating them once in a while. Why do you think they're doing that? To give you more value, to remain relevant in your life. So if you run a business, hey, add more value. Are you getting me? Add more value. Don't remain the same. And this goes the same in your personal life. You cannot remain the same mentally and expect to be relevant. You cannot remain the same skill-wise and expect to be relevant. Read more books. Add more value to your intelligence. Gain more skills. Experience more stuff. Become more relevant to the people around you. Add more value. That's why you're going to be relevant in business. Can you achieve the goal you have in mind with the assets you already have? This is a very important question to ask. Can you achieve the goal you have in mind with the assets you already have? Let's say, for example, many of you said here that you're thinking of starting a business. Let me ask you a question. With the current assets that you have, can you achieve that goal of starting? Assets include fixed asset and cash assets, right? So let's say you want to consider your mobile phone, your laptop as an asset. That's good. You want to consider cash at bank and your savings and the money people are owing you as assets. That is good. But do you think that if you bring those assets together, you can be able to start a business? If the assets are not enough, which other assets do you need to get so you can be able to start a business? Same for those who have started. You want to increase, currently, let's say currently you're making 1 million Liberian dollars every month, and you want to start making 5 million Liberian dollars every month. Do you think the current assets that you have can help you make that 5 million? Let's say you run a software company where you develop apps and websites for people, and you have only 2 laptops. The two laptops, you are able to make 1 million Liberian dollars. But if you are going to make 5 million, you may need to get more laptop, which is an asset, and get more human assets, more employees, so that they can produce more value, so you can be able to make more money. You see? That's the power of this question. The goal you want to achieve, do you already have the assets that you can put to work to achieve that particular goal? Okay? So, anybody who think about these questions I have shared today, and you deeply assess, analyze, a lot will change in your business. Okay? As I would like to say, hope is hopeless without action. With everything I have shared today, if you don't go and take action, the knowledge is useless. Why? Because relevant knowledge is useless to a lazy person. And in the whole of this program, I know Otis is bringing smart people to teach you here and there. They'll give you relevant ideas and relevant knowledge. But relevant knowledge is useless in the life of a lazy person or somebody who is full of procrastination. So the things I have shared today, you need to go and take action. And to conclude, I always say that anytime you listen to a session like this, 2 things should happen in your life. Listen to me very carefully. Listen very, very carefully. Anytime you listen to a session like this, 2 things should happen in your life. Number 1, what will you stop doing because of what you have learned today? Because of the business insight I have taught today, what will you stop doing in your business because of what you have learned today? Number 2, what will you start doing because of the new things that you have learned today? If you do this, if we meet 1 year after, you'll be more successful and an achiever more than who you are today. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. I can get questions for the next few minutes before I jump out. and then we can catch up tomorrow.